I thought we didn't like fear. So why do people do roller coasters, skydiving, and all sorts of other fearful, risky behavior? In my personal clinic, I see a lot of people for anxiety. Anxiety is kind of based on that fear mode inside our body, and the adrenaline and the cortisol, and we feel it in our tummies or other parts of our bodies. Our emotions are really strong, and our thoughts of anxious fear and so on. And it's very, very unpleasant and sometimes really painful for some people. Yesterday, I was kind of in that situation, came across my deadline. I've got a big charity project coming up. Lots of things to get done in time for starting this project. And last night was the deadline for the workbook for the graphic artist, then goes off to the printer. And these are hard deadlines, very difficult to move because everything has to be ready in time for the workshops. And so the adrenaline is rushing inside me, the cortisol is up, the stress is up, and I'm feeling the adrenaline pumping through my body. And there's a sense of excitement, right? There's on one side, I'm very anxious about getting finished this deadline on time. I've got a sense of responsibility on my shoulders because it's not just for me, it's for the whole organization, it's for the participants that are going to be coming, and everything needs to be ready. And here I am, inside me, got these anxious events going on, and at the same time, there's an excitement going on of getting this accomplishment done. And of course, I'm working with other people, and so there's all that frustration coming in making sure that, you know, they are doing, managing to do what I'm trying to express to them that I want them to do. And all this coming together, there's a ton of biochemicals in me, and I'm feeling it through my body. To tell you the truth, I really don't like it. I don't like that sensation. I don't like the adrenaline going through me, whether it's from an anxious adrenaline kind of thing or an excitement adrenaline. The interesting thing is that they both lie kind of on the same chassis. So even though we don't particularly like fear and we don't really like painful emotions and body sensations, there are times when we actually put ourselves into these situations, and that is lots of people, millions a year, go on roller coasters that are extremely frightening, or any other of these machines in amusement parks, or they skydive or parachute from airplanes, climb up very dangerous mountains, even ski slopes, and all sorts of other activities that generate that adrenaline, generate that stress reaction within the body. But it's coming through and attached to excitement. Excitement and fear are very close towards each other, and people love it. And I, in a certain sense, get really motivated by it too. And the pleasure comes, for me at least, at the end of it, when it's over and you feel that sense of accomplishment and the adrenaline starts to settle down, the cortisol starts to settle down. Life in general is a bit of a roller coaster, or skydiving sometimes, or a ski slope, going through that slalom. It's just the things that happen. Sometimes it's anxious fear, and sometimes it's excitement fear. And I think it's really important to learn to distinguish between the two.
Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman has embarked on a 12-week daily live challenge to disseminate a mixture of knowledge, combining his hand-picked golden nuggets from his personal library together with his decades of experience and learning. He is doing this as a committed action to service his values of contributing and helping others, using himself as the subject of this exercise, despite his feelings of awkwardness, anxiousness and shame, which usually forms a barrier of uncomfortableness within, holding him back from accomplishing his goals. Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman is an accomplished psychotherapist and clinical social worker with many years of learning and experience. And yet his self-disclosure of his vulnerability and openness is to demonstrate the human condition that we all experience from time to time. Disclaimer: the contents of this podcast, such as text, graphics, images and other material contained on the podcast, are for informational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis or treatment. Always seek the advice of your mental health professional or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding your condition. Never disregard professional advice or delay in seeking it because of something you